Few love triangles in TV history have divided audiences quite like Joey Potter's choice between Dawson Leery and Pacey Witter. Even 20 years after Dawson's Creek ended, fans still passionately debate whether Joey belonged with her childhood soulmate or with the boy who became her unexpected great love. On today's episode of The Hangout, I want to unpack that debate, why Joey chose Pacey over Dawson, and why that ending still sparks controversy decades later. At its heart, this choice reflects the tension between friendship and romance, destiny and growth, and how Dawson's Creek dared to give us a messy, complicated answer instead of a fairy tale ending. Quick note, this episode was actually inspired by a comment from one of my earlier videos. So if there's a character arc, relationship, or storyline you want me to explore, drop it in the comments. I really do read them all, and your ideas genuinely help shape the direction of this channel. And before we get started, a quick spoiler warning for the whole series, especially the finale. If you enjoy these WB-era deep dives, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. It really helps my small channel grow. From the pilot, Dawson's Creek frames Dawson and Joey as inevitable. She's the girl down the creek, climbing into his window each night. A visual metaphor for intimacy and safety. Dawson frames Joey as more than a friend. She's the person who defines his world. And later on in the series, Joey acknowledges that their bond was always deeper than friendship, something that went beyond any single label. But here's the problem. Destiny can become suffocating. Dawson often saw Joey less as a partner and more as the leading lady in his own personal Spielberg movie. Their bond was rooted in nostalgia and comfort, but it also trapped them in the roles they'd always played. Dawson as the dreamer, and Joey as the sidekick. What started out as sweet eventually became static. And then there's Pacey. He's been around since the very beginning, but in season 3, something shifts. The dynamic between Joey and Pacey suddenly feels electric. Not inevitable, but surprising. Not safe, but challenging. What had always been background banter now takes center stage, reshaping the entire love triangle. Joey and Pacey may bicker and tease, often driving each other crazy, but beneath the banter is something deeper. Growth. Take the iconic wall scene. After Joey's school mural is destroyed, Pacey rents her an entire wall to begin painting again. It's not just a romantic gesture. It's an act of faith. He gives her space to define herself, to reclaim her voice as both an artist and a person. Where Dawson so often made Joey's choices orbit around him, Pacey centered Joey's choices around her. And on the flip side, Joey validates Pacey's worth. His family constantly made him feel worthless. Joey doesn't just love him, she takes him seriously. Their romance isn't just passion, it's healing. Together, they become more than they are apart. That's why, for so many fans, their relationship feels deeper, more transformative than Dawson and Joey's nostalgia loop. So why does Joey's choice still split the fandom? Because Dawson's Creek pulled a bait and switch. For years, it sold Dawson and Joey as endgame. To many viewers, the finale felt like narrative betrayal. Even Kevin Williamson, the show's creator, originally envisioned Dawson and Joey together. For Pacey Joey fans, though, the ending was a triumph. Proof that love isn't destiny, it's choice. It's messy, it's unpredictable, but it's real. And here's the clever part. The finale gives both sides something. Joey may choose Pacey romantically, but Dawson remains her soulmate. Not in the romantic sense, but as her anchor, the person who defined her past. This rejection of the childhood soulmate equals romantic endgame formula was radical for 2003. Most teen dramas of the era rewarded first loves with forever. The idea that the boy next door was destined to be the one you grew old with. By choosing otherwise, Dawson's Creek upended a deeply ingrained expectation. It told viewers that the person who defines your youth doesn't have to define your future. And that's exactly why the debate still burns. It wasn't just a love triangle resolution. It was a challenge to how TV had always told these stories. The love triangle was never just Dawson versus Pacey. It worked as a metaphor. Dawson embodied childhood, destiny, the comforting dream of who you thought you were meant to be. Pacey, on the other hand, represented growth, risk, the unpredictable, messy reality of becoming an adult. By choosing Pacey, Joey chooses the future. She acknowledges that her relationship with Dawson will always matter, but it can't define her forever. So why did Joey choose Pacey? Because he represented growth, challenge, and a love that pushed her forward, not one that held her in place. Her decision continues to divide fans, because we're all drawn to different emotional truths. The comfort of destiny, or the thrill of choosing change. Personally, I was satisfied with Joey choosing Pacey in the finale, while my husband, who gravitates towards more traditional, neatly resolved TV endings, would have preferred she ended up with Dawson. And that's why Dawson's Creek endures. It gave us an ending that wasn't easy, wasn't neat, but that was honest. But now, I want to hear from you. Did the writers get it right? Or should Joey have ended up with Dawson after all? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I always love reading your takes. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my other content, including my defense of Dawson Leery. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.